So I've done a couple videos about corporations, corporatism, I like to call it. If it's a little improper use of the word, but it gives a symmetry with capitalism. One about the very nature of corporatism, how it kind of messes up jobs and also stunts evolution of humanity. And we've become so accustomed to allowing these corporations that kind of just screw us over. And I wanted to give a few examples of those that really just blow my mind. So I think about one service, like phone service. I had internet one time for like years, like 5 years. I had pretty fast internet because it was I liked to game or whatever. I was playing games at the time, and so I had upgraded internet. And I remember calling for a problem I had or something. And the lady was like, "Oh, you are paying like $20 more a month than you have to." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah. All the people now, they pay $30 a month for it instead of 50 or whatever it was." And I was like, "What?" I've been with you guys like 5 years, and that always just blew my mind. That instead of rewarding loyal customers, and I've seen some memes about it recently too, but instead of rewarding your like customers that have been with you and reducing the price they go down, you just let them run with it. And then the new customers get a cheaper price, but the people who've been with you, it's like no loyalty. They're just willing to destroy humanity for what? For $20 a month, $10 a month? It's crazy. And how many people actually, are paying that all the time and like getting screwed over by it? Another thing was the kids probably don't remember this, but back in the day, TV was free. You had like the ears, little bunny ears, and the commercials paid for the TV. And that's how it always went down. And I have to admit, I got into streaming like super early, like the Russian streaming sites or whatever that would have like every movie, hundreds, thousands of movies. It was crazy. And I always said this is going to be the future eventually, and it finally is now. But of course, they're screwing us over on that. But cable TV, and streaming now with commercials. So you're paying a monthly fee, and then on top of it, they make you watch commercials. The commercials used to make it free. And so it's mind-boggling how we just accept it. I'm like, it's part of life. Like, what? So basically they're double dipping, where you're paying to watch these commercials. They're getting paid off the commercials. And on top of it, you're paying for a monthly subscription. We just accept it. Like, okay. Like, that's horrible. Horrible. It's the worst thing. I would actually post some of these things, but I got on this whole like super honesty trip. It was always like really, that was always I would consider one of my one sins was that I was pirating movies and or like my basic physical like sins. And I never downloaded them, so it's not really like stealing, it's just pirating, but I guess even downloading is kind of pirating. But I would just stream them all the time, and I'd watch everything I could, like so many different movies. I love movies. I'm a huge cinemaphile, and of the kind of movies that I like anyway. And it's crazy. And I remember at my parents, they still had like regular cable, and I was there one day hanging out, and my mom was watching HBO or something, and there was a 2-hour block of commercials for HBO on HBO. On the TV. I'm like, are you serious? That was like a movie length or hour and a half. You could have fit a movie in there, and you're paying some outrageous price for this every month, and they're giving commercials. Unbelievable. We should not accept this. If anyone has any good ideas of how to stop these people from doing this, I guess pirating would be the only way, but that I know of. So if you have a better idea, I don't have a good solution for this one, but I think it's unbelievable that they do this to us and we just accept it. Another one is banking fees for like international fees or taking money out from another ready teller. It used to be that, you're international or you're taking money out from another state or another bank. It was a whole big process where they had to, fill out a bunch of paperwork. There was a clerk that had to take time to fill out paperwork and send the paperwork and retrieve paperwork and file this away. And it was like hard files. Now everything's instantaneous. It's internet. It takes a couple of seconds to do. And they still hit us with like $3 charges. Then your bank hits you with a charge. I remember I took money out from like a B of A once when I wasn't a member of B of A. And they charged me $3.50, I think. And then my bank hit me with like $2.50. I'm like, dude, I just paid $6 to take $20 out or $40 or whatever it was I took out. That's crazy. In this day and age when it's instantaneous, it's all computers. Same with taking money or giving it back. Like they'll take your money instantly. The day you buy something, boom, they take your money. You try to get a refund on anything, it takes like a week, 2 weeks. What the hell? 3 days minimum. Minimum is like 3 days. They'll take that money right away, but they don't just give it back. In a digital age where everything's instant, they're going to charge these like insane fees for that. And we just take it. Like, yeah, it's just how it is. Is it? Does it have to be this way? Can we find a solution to not being ripped off at every turn? Like every turn. They'll get us on something, and it's gotten to be too much. Making money is great. I know these companies want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody. Because we want to live. And money is freedom to a certain extent, really. It's representation of goods, right? It's like, that's how it started. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to bring 12 bushels of apples right now. I'm just going to give you this like representation of that. You can come back or spend it on something else. It's not a bad thing. Love of money is the root of all evil or whatever, It's not money is the root of all evil. Love of money is the root of all evil. Maybe. Talmud has an interesting thing. It says money is the only sin that we never tire of like the deadly sins that, I believe it's in Talmud, that you can get sick of lust, have enough sex that you finally get sick of it. You can get sick of gluttony, like you'll eat so much you just get sick of food. It says greed, like counting your money, counting coins, counting bills, collecting bigger numbers, you'll never get sick of. It's the one sin that like you'll never tire of. People never tire of, which shows that it's a dangerous one, but it's also, I've always wondered if this is like the hell of greed. Sometimes I look at the world and I'm like, dude, is this the hell of greed? And it's not so bad because it's like people, you need it, you want it for your family, and like you want it. Most people, I think, deep down, if you look at them, has some kind of altruistic base. Most of them want it for their family, for their kids, whatever. So, and just for survival, security. People collect extra money for security, right? And to have a little like cushion. But then it gets bigger and bigger, and they need a cushion for their yacht. And they just bought a 50-foot yacht. I mean, they got to have extra cushion in case something breaks. And it gets to be, because we never tire of it, it kind of gets to be out of control. We all need it, but we shouldn't be accepting all these crazy like fees and commercials and the way they just try to get us every little way. Like, it's out of control. It's so out of control, and I'm so not okay with it. And so we need to find a good solution for that. I don't have a necessary solution. I can see it, but I don't necessarily know how we go about, other than boycotting these companies, which credit unions, and there are alternatives to bank, creating like the things I didn't really like banking, but my cousin said it the best of like, but it's one of those things. I didn't like dealing with finance and economics very much, but it's like one of the things that really needs to be fixed. And it's one of the most important ones to fix. And so maybe going back to just holdings, right? Instead of letting banks gamble our money and charge us. It's another big reason I'm sure they're all gamblers, right? They're gambling our money on different things, and so they got to get extra money in case they lose. So they're charging us on everything like a gambler trying to hustle all the time. So maybe we just need like the Templar banks or however it was initially done, that they just hold your money for you, get a small fee to move it around, and that's about it, right? You can pick up money from another thing, and that's the idea. But in an instantaneous age, I don't think $6 is right on taking $20 out from a B of A. Could just be me. I don't know. But I just, all these little ways to get us is getting out of control. And streaming now is as much as cable TV. Went from like free. Hulu, I think, was the first big one. And they were free initially. And then now there's no even free membership to Hulu. Just to have commercials you have to pay, which is insane. And so balance. This is another one of those things where we got to work on like some kind of balance, some kind of great, like middle ground where they don't screw us so hard, It can be free with commercials. That's fair. We're already paying for internet. And so that model is fine, like original Hulu. But to have to pay whatever, $6 a month, $5 a month, and then on top of it, watch commercials, like already corrupt. It's always more, this corporate idea, right? They got to up their profits. CEO better find bigger profits or he's going to get fired. So unless they're innovative, which you can only take streaming so far, then you got to figure out a way to like screw the people and or keep charging them for internet what they used to pay 5 years ago for faster internet. Now they're charging people a lot less because the internet's gotten better. Scandalous. So anyway, I wish everyone the blessing of figuring out how we can keep corporations from just bleeding us at every turn. The inspiration to figure out how we can get away from this like cold-hearted world that's just kind of bleeding us out, and justifying it somehow. I don't know how they justify it, but they kind of do. And I'm all for people making money. I think it's great. I think capitalism is fine, but there has to be some kind of regulation and some kind of oversight of like how people just aren't getting screwed constantly, because that's what these companies are doing, unfortunately. And if people just had a moral code, this wouldn't be necessary. But how to implement that without, I think honestly the easiest is just going to be alternatives. We're going to have to, somebody with a moral compass has to create something that's competition and could survive. They don't just murder this person or find a way to, the kind of the danger of going public with anything is that you just get bought out by one of these corporations. The shares can be bought up and they own the company, or like eventually sell. They give you a big enough number that you want to sell, and or they just torment you. Like they'll send their IRS, whatever, politicians after you and torture you. So we need an alternative, in my opinion. But we can't be so used to being scammed. So I wish everyone the blessing of that, the inspiration to figure out a way to change it, and the heart and the strength to say enough is enough, and like we're not going to keep taking this, and so that we can make some kind of change. I hope we can get there. Let's do this, people. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.